All right, what's up, guys? We should be live. Should be good to go. We got a big slate tonight. 11 gamer. Hitting on some news that came out during the day. We're still waiting on a lot. There's still a lot of question marks right now. There's still a lot up in the air. But we did get kind of an update from the Raptors with Fred VanVleet. I think this is one of the bigger injuries that we'll have to pay attention to. So Fred VanVleet was questionable heading into today. He did not go through shoot around. So, I think Fred VanVleet's probably going to be out. We'll talk about the Raptors guys who I like, assuming VanVleet doesn't play. And then, waiting for news on Ja. Ja was questionable yesterday, didn't play. He's questionable again. We don't really know. LeBron's questionable, so that'll be something to monitor. I think LeBron will play. Anthony Edwards got injured in last night's game. He's questionable for today. I don't think Anthony Edwards is going to play, but we'll have to monitor that. And then we got some, words from Houston. So Houston's going to have some question marks. Christian Wood and Kevin Porter Jr. are both questionable from Houston. One of the later games, so I doubt we'll have this news before lock. It's a tough spot on the road against Phoenix, but there's going to be some plays to go to from Houston if Wood and Porter both sit. Guys like Jae'Sean Tate, Jalen Green, Şengün, these guys will look like pretty good options. I would definitely be worried about blowout. I would be worried about Houston just coming out here and just getting the crap beat out of them. But if by some chance they could keep this game close, you would have to think it's probably because Tate and Green are doing well. Şengün's someone that I think would play in a blowout, so I feel really good about Şengün. If Wood sits, I think Şengün's one of my favorite value plays because we know he's a really productive player and he would get minutes even if the game gets ugly. I would definitely like him a lot, but it's tough to really talk about that right now because we just don't know. Those guys are questionable. I don't know when we're going to get that news. But yeah, if you guys have questions for tonight's slate, you can start throwing those in chat. We'll be live to about 6:30 Eastern, trying to answer all you guys' questions, talk through the slate for about 20-25 minutes. Ace of Spade asked Tatum or Randall. I would say Julius Randle. OG or Trent for my last spot. Give me Gary Trent. Vooch or Siakam. I would say if Fred VanVleet's out, give me Siakam. If Fred VanVleet plays, give me Vooch. So just kind of a wait and see right now. Is Pritchard in play with the Smart news? I think Pritchard's definitely viable. Pritchard's one of those guys that would benefit in a blowout, and I think there's a pretty good possibility that Boston blows out Detroit tonight. So Pritchard probably plays 18, 20 minutes in a close game, and in a blowout, he might get 25, 26 minutes. So I don't hate going to Pritchard at 3,300. I think there's probably other value plays worth considering. If Ja gets ruled out, Tyus Jones is super cheap. He'd be the best value play on the slate. I would definitely play him over Pritchard in that scenario, but I think Pritchard as a punt option is fine. Towns, DeRozan, or Vooch. Kind of another thing where we just gotta. I thought those Toronto guys in there. That's my fault. Towns, DeRozan, or Vooch. Give me DeRozan. I don't know why, but I thought one of those was Siakam. What's up, Noah? What's up, John? What's up, my man? Noah, what's good, man? This slate's hurting my head. Hey, what's good, Elvin? What's up, my man? Vooch, Cat, or Siakam. So there, I would say wait for Raptors news. If VanVleet's out, I would play Siakam there. If VanVleet plays, I would go to Vooch. So that's just kind of wait and see. All those guys, let's see. I think all those guys play at the same time. So yeah, we'll have news on that before all those games start. What's up, Noah? Appreciate your insights, man. Any love for OKC players tonight? I think there's a couple guys from OKC that are viable. Giddey's price has come up a good amount. His minutes have been back up, but his price is also up too. So Giddey obviously offers the most upside from the Thunder, but I think at his price point, he's not a standout play for me. I think there could be some value here. With Kendrick Williams out, with Ty Jerome out, I think Poku plays more. He's only 4K. Isaiah Roby started at center last game. If he starts at center again, he's viable. Aaron Wiggins is 3K and is probably going to play 30 minutes. He's a really bad point per minute player. But Aaron Wiggins is 3K and he's probably going to start and play 30 minutes. So, he's in play for me. He might honestly be my favorite play from OKC. Right now, Aaron Wiggins is projected for a lot of ownership. So, if he's going to be chalk, that's a guy that I'm totally fine fading in tournaments. But, at 3K, it's going to be hard for him to kill your lineup. Now, does he have a ton of upside? I don't think so. But at 3K, I think Aaron Wiggins, is viable. Probably my favorite play from OKC would be him. But in general, man, the Thunder, they're not a team I really ever get excited to load up on. Halliburton, Simons, or Trey and Ayton straight up. Give me Halliburton and Simons, but that's really close, Brennan. What's good, Noah? Favorite values? I mean, value-wise, right now, it's just kind of a wait and see. We got to see if VanVleet's going to play. We got to see if Ja's going to play. Still waiting for news on who else. Let's see. I thought there was someone else that was important. Ja's questionable. Van Vliet's questionable. Anthony Edwards is questionable. Then you got those Houston guys questionable. Like right now, it's just a wait and see. But like Jalen Smith, I think is a good value. He started last night. He was in major foul trouble, but I think if Jalen Smith starts again, he is someone that I will definitely be looking as a value play. He's only 3,900. Really good point per minute player. I would like him quite a bit for value. But like Tyus Jones is going to be a great value play if Josh sits. If Anthony Edwards sits, you could get some value from Minnesota with like Malik Beasley, Jalen McDaniels, those guys. But it's tough, man. Like there's not too much value on this slate. It's just kind of like we got to wait and see, with these question marks, with these questionable guys, who winds up playing. Because if some of these guys are out, then we'll get some value there. Is LeBron and Davis playing? LeBron's questionable. AD's probable. So AD should play. LeBron, don't know, but I think he will. Favorite center play tonight on DK? I mean, Clint Capella screwed me last night, but I'm going to go back to Clint Capella. I think Clint Capella is a good play again. I mean, he played over 30 minutes. I think his minutes without John Collins are going to be there. He's normally been a good point per minute player. If Clint Capella plays over 30 minutes again, he's pretty likely to pay off 5,300. So I think Capella is a guy that I like at center again. Point guard 6,400 and under. Point guard 6,400 and under. I would say I'd probably go Io there. I'd probably play Io there. Also, I'm playing Tice. I don't think I'd go to Daniel Tice. He got increased minutes yesterday because Horford got in foul trouble. But if Horford doesn't get in foul trouble, like Daniel Tice probably plays like 14, 15 minutes. So, yeah, no interest in Daniel Tice for me. And his price is up to 4,400. Like, my God, I mean, the dude played 20 minutes. Like, why would you play a guy at 4,400 that's probably going to play like 15, 20 minutes? Like, I wouldn't go there. Towns, Murray, Young, or Jokic? I mean, give me Jokic there if you have the salary. Javonte Green or Poku? I would probably go Poku, honestly. Beasley if Edwards sits. I think Malik Beasley would be viable if Anthony Edwards sits. I think Beasley would be viable. There would probably be more minutes for Jalen McDaniels. I think Jalen McDaniels would be in play. He would probably start if I had to guess. So like Beasley, McDaniels, I think would both be in play if Edwards sits. Kuz or Halliburton? Give me Halliburton. Grimes or Wiggins? Give me Quentin Grimes. Trey or Murray? I mean, if you have the salary, I would play Deontay Murray. Also, Jalen Smith and Tice. Yeah, Jalen Smith I like a lot. If he starts again, Tice, no interest for me. Brown, Horton Tucker, Aaron Wiggins. I mean, THT, I really don't have interest in unless like LeBron sits. Aaron Wiggins, we talked about, is in play. He's 3K. Pretty unlikely that he kills your lineup, but he's a terrible point per minute player. And then Bruce Brown, like the Bruce Brown thing, I mean, he went nuts last game, but Bruce Brown, you never know how many minutes he's going to play. We've seen him start before and play like 20 minutes. Like, I think Bruce Brown's in play for value, but if he's going to be popular, like that's another guy that I would be okay fading. Right now, I don't think Bruce Brown's projecting for much ownership, though. Let me see. So he's projected for 23% ownership. Like, man, 23% on Bruce Brown. I know he's cheap and he's coming off a big game, but like that's a guy that I think I'd be okay fading. Rank these centers: Drummond, Steven Adams, Mitchell Robinson, Capella. Probably go Capella, Adams, Drummond, Robinson. That's assuming that Drummond starts again. I'll probably put them in that order. Best utility options under 10K. Do you like Murray at all on this slate? I mean, Deontay Murray's in play every slate. At 11K, I think he's priced where he should be. So it's not like we're getting Murray at a great price tag or anything, but the dude can put up 60 any night. I mean, Deontay Murray's always in play. Like, I don't. When people come in here and ask, like, do you like Jokic? Do you like Deontay Murray? Can I play DeRozan? It's like, of course you can play these guys. These guys have massive upside, and they can put up a huge game any night. I don't like answering those questions just because those questions just, I don't know, to me, you can always play those guys. Your top 2 stars. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go in terms of pay-up options today. Like, I think the upper mid-range looks really good. DeRozan and Vooch with their roles right now, I like them quite a bit. Julius Randle, I think is definitely in play. Trae Young, I think is underpriced for his role right now without John Collins. And then you got these Toronto guys like Siakam, I like a lot if Van Vliet sits. Like, I don't think you have to pay up for Jokic or Murray or, LeBron, but, I mean, obviously those guys are in play. I think that's, the guys we just talked about, though, that's where I'm liking to spend my salary. Thoughts on Beverly? I mean, Patrick Beverly's fine. He's coming off a big game. I just never play Patrick Beverly. I mean, his price is like 5K. Like, 5K Patrick Beverly never excites me at all. I mean, if he puts up 30 DraftKings points tonight, that's probably a good game for him. And, at 5,100, that's not winning you anything. So, like, $5,100 Patrick Beverly, no, I don't get excited about. Tyus Jones, Aaron Wiggins, Barnes, Smith, Siakam, Grimes, Randall, Murray. I mean, we gotta wait and see with Ja news. I would not play Tyus Jones if Ja plays. But if Ja's out, then yes, obviously Tyus Jones is a great play. The rest of that lineup I'm fine with. You like any of the Nets guys? I think Seth Curry is still viable just because his role right now, without KD, without Kyrie, without Ben Simmons, I think Seth Curry's going to have a really good role, and he's going to play big minutes. He's going to take a lot of shots. He was really productive in his first game with the Nets. So he's probably my favorite play from the Nets. And then if you want to go to Bruce Brown, I think it's fine. Drummond started last game, played like 24 minutes. I think him and Aldridge are probably going to split the center minutes. So, if you get like a 24-24 split in minutes between the centers, like I think Drummond's okay. Like probably Seth Curry's my favorite play from the Nets. How do you rank these values assuming John and are out? Tyus, Jalen Smith, McDaniels, Wiggins. I would put them in that order. Tyus number 1, Smith, McDaniels, Wiggins. I'd put them in that order. Best shooting guard, 6,500 and under. Gary Trent is 6,100. If Van Vliet gets ruled out, I like Gary Trent a lot. DeSumo or Simons? Give me Anthony Simons. Mitchell, Paul, or Trey? Give me Trey. Giddy, Halliburton, or Kuzma? Give me Halliburton. Any Al Horford interest? I had an interest in Al Horford yesterday. He was in my lineup until the last second, and then I swapped to Jalen Smith once we knew Jalen Smith was starting. I mean, I got lucky not playing Al Horford yesterday. I think Horford's a good play again, though. Like, he got in foul trouble. He just got really unlucky with the foul trouble. With Robert Williams out, like, we kind of talked about it yesterday, Horford's going to play all of his minutes at center. He should be productive in those minutes. He averaged a fantasy point per minute yesterday. He only played 20 minutes because he was in foul trouble, and it was a blowout. So I think if we get 30 minutes from Horford, he can definitely pay off 5,600, especially, now that he's starting at center, or now that he's shifting down to center. I still like Al Horford, and I think, with him busting yesterday, he probably won't be nearly as popular as he was yesterday. Any interest in Derek White with him starting? His points make me nervous, and new team. I mean, like, I think at almost 6K, like, Derek White's probably priced where he should be for his role with the Celtics. Like, I don't think he's going to be as productive in Boston as he was in San Antonio, but he should still play pretty good minutes with Smart out. We've seen Boston run a really tight rotation. They've basically been running an 8-man rotation, like, every night. So I think Derek White plays like 32, 34 minutes. He's definitely in play. I think, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are really going to dominate the usage on that team. So I really just don't know, like, how good Derek White, on a point-per-minute basis, how productive he'll be with Boston. All right, we just got word Anthony Edwards remains a game-time decision, so that really does not help us at all. Is Seth viable tonight? Seth Curry, yeah, definitely in play for me. Like we said earlier, I think he's my favorite play from the Nets if I had to play anyone on Brooklyn. Quentin Grimes, you the GOAT, Noah. Y'all smash the like button. Appreciate you, John. Quentin Grimes, I think's in play. His price came up a good amount. Like, he was stone minimum last slate. He was 3K, and now he's 4,100. So I think at 4,100, like, he's not as good of a play as he was last slate. But Quentin Grimes has been getting a ton of minutes. He's been taking shots. He's a kind of a scoring-dependent player. But I think at 4,100 with the minutes he's getting, he's still viable for me. I'm just not as excited about him today. With it being a big slate, with his price up, I don't think he stands out as much as he did, last slate when he was 3K. Small forward, 4,600 and under. 4,600 and under as small forward. I would say, man, probably Bruce Brown. I know we talked about, fading Bruce Brown if he's going to be chalk, but he's probably your best small forward play under 4,600. You like Buddy Hield again? I think Buddy Hield's firmly in play. I mean, his role with Indiana has been really good. Him and Halliburton. They've both been playing a ton of minutes every night. Buddy Hield's been taking a ton of shots. 6,200. I think that's probably too cheap still for Buddy Hield with what his role is right now. Playing 35, 40 minutes a night, taking 20 shots a game. I think it's 6,200. Buddy Hield still looks like a really good play. When I say Derek White 6.5 assists, you say under, right? Is that what his prop is? What's his prop? I haven't even looked at like any Derek White props. Yeah, so they have him at 6.5 assists. I mean, he's only hit that in 1 out of his last 5. I'm guessing that's why you're taking the under. I mean, yeah, like I don't know, like with Smart out, is Derek White going to have the ball in his hands more? Is he going to be like the point guard? I mean, it's possible. I don't know, man. I don't feel great about that one. I mean, I guess I'd lean under, but that's not something I'm going to bet myself. Like Derek White might be like the point guard with Marcus Smart out. So maybe I could see him getting 7 assists if he does have the ball in his hands a lot. That's not one I'm personally going to bet. Vanderbilt or McDaniels? I would take Vanderbilt straight up if you have a salary. Also, thoughts on Vassell? I mean, I think Vassell is still fine. He's going to play like 30 minutes. His price is up to where I think it should be. It's a big slate, so I don't think Vassell like stands out today, but he's playable for that matter. Value pick for $14 or below. Jalen Smith is 11 on Yahoo, so I like him a lot if he's starting again. Jaden McDaniels, the top value. I think McDaniels is fine. We've seen Jalen McDaniels start before and like not be great, but he's 3,500, and if he does start for Anthony Edwards, he'll probably play like 30 minutes. 3,500, like he's definitely playable. But like he's one of these guys that, I mean, the 41 DraftKings points he put up last game, like that's just a total outlier. I mean, normally when he plays 30 minutes, he scores like 24 DraftKings points, which is good, but that's not gonna like win you the slate. So that's another guy that like I'll be interested to see what his ownership is. If he's really popular, someone I'd be fine fading. If nobody's going to play Jalen McDaniels, then yeah, I think it's fine to go there. But that's all dependent on Anthony Edwards, whether he plays or not. Or probably would have been, where would you rank him as a top play tonight? I mean, that's another, like Dejounte Murray's always in play. Like, if I'm playing one lineup on this slate, am I going to play Dejounte Murray? I don't think so, but it all comes down to like how many lineups you're playing. Obviously if you're playing 10, 20 lineups, like don't just full fade Dejounte Murray. Get him in a few lineups. If you're playing one lineup like I do, am I going to play Dejounte Murray in my one lineup? I don't think so. I think there's other guys I'd rather go to for cheaper that have just as much upside. LaMarcus Aldridge or Bagley? I would probably play Aldridge between those two. You like Bryant with Rui out? I think Thomas Bryant will get a few more minutes. His minutes have not been good, but he's been productive when he's got an opportunity. You would think he probably plays a little bit more with Rui out. Maybe instead of like 22, 23 minutes, he might get like 25, 26. So I think Thomas Bryant's like, he's playable, but like another guy that I'm not excited about. You like Dante over Grimes if Mitchell's out? I mean, I think Dante DiVincenzo would get more run. I don't know how much he would really play, like off the bench, but he's been getting minutes, pretty decent minutes with Sacramento so far. You would have to think if Davion is out, he'll probably get like mid to high 20s minutes. I think between him or Grimes, I probably would still take Grimes just because I think Grimes' minutes would be higher. But Dante DiVincenzo would be a solid value if Davion Mitchell sits. And I don't think anyone would play DiVincenzo. Thoughts on Kemba with no Barrett? I mean, Kemba's been better lately, but God, like I just never play Kemba, I'll be honest. He's cheap, he's 4,600. He might play 25, 26 minutes, but dude, I just never play Kemba at this point. Like I'm off of him. I mean, the only time I would play Kemba this season was when he was getting good minutes and he was, he had a really good role. His role's just been too tough to predict. I mean, some nights he'll play well, some nights Tibbs will play him 20 minutes. Like you never know with this dude. So I personally, I really don't ever play Kemba. Randall or Siakam if Van Vliet's out? If Van Vliet's out, I would take Siakam. D'Lo, if Ant's out, yeah, if Anthony Edwards is out, I definitely would like D'Angelo Russell. And I think Anthony Edwards will be out. So D'Angelo Russell is someone I do have my eye on. I think Cat would get a little boost as well. And then, you know, for value, you could look to McDaniels. You could look to Malik Beasley too. Curry, Johnson, Wagner, or Horford. Give me Seth Curry there. Thoughts on Isaiah Roby? If he starts again, he's playable. Derek Favors rested last game, and I don't know if that's like, that might have been why he started. If Roby starts again, like, he's in play, I guess. But another guy that, man, like, I'm just not excited. I would never be excited to play Isaiah Roby. There's a lot of value plays on this slate that I'm just like, ugh, I don't feel good about. Like, I want Ja to be out so that way I can just slam Tyus Jones in my lineup and just not even think about it, because he'd be a free square. Fox or Halliburton? Give me Halliburton. 6K left at guard, or 6K left at guard on DK. Who would you go with? I mean, if you could find $100, I would try and get up to Gary Trent if Van Vliet's out. We talked about that. I like Gary Trent a lot. But I guess like Io is fine. Seth Curry, probably one of those two. Steven Adams or Mitchell Robinson? Give me Steven Adams. Favorite point guard on Yahoo? I mean, right now, like, I think Trae Young's a really good pay-up option. If Josh sits, I love Tyus Jones. But I think Trae's a really good point guard on Yahoo point guard option on Yahoo. Thank you for the thoughts, Noah. Always in your corner, constant content. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you. Young Carter or Derek White and Jokic. So Trae Young, Wendell Carter, or Derek White, Jokic. Give me Derek White and Jokic. Any Sabonis interest? I mean, Sabonis, like, so far with the Kings, his role, like, he's not been as productive as he was in Indiana. He also hasn't been playing as many minutes. Like, the most minutes we've seen him play with Sacramento is 34. Whereas when he was with Indiana, like, Sabonis was playing 38, 40 minutes in close games. So the price tag's come down, so I think he's, like, in play. But Sabonis is someone that I'm a little hesitant on. Like, I just don't know, like, in a close game, if he's only gonna play like 32, 33 minutes, he's got to be really productive in that time to pay off the salary. Like, I think Sabonis is a good point per minute player. He can put up a big game any night, but I definitely think his role with Sacramento isn't going to be, or it hasn't been as good as it was in Indiana, at least just as of late. Russell or Simons? If Ant's out, I would probably take D'Angelo Russell, but that's a close one. Any good prize picks? I'll take a look at prize picks real quick, give some picks I like. I got something in store. I'm not sure yet if it's for sure going to be set in stone, but I think after the All-Star break, whenever we come back, I'm going to try and start making some prize picks specific videos. So just little short videos, probably 8 to 10 minutes. I would still upload my normal video that I upload the night before, and then the day of the slate, probably sometime like in the early afternoon, I would make a prize pick specific video where I would just talk about like a few of my favorite plays on prize picks. I think I've seen a lot of guys making prize picks content lately, and I think I want to get into it as well because I do play on prize picks every night. I play high volume too. So I would definitely think after the All-Star break, you might be seeing some prize picks videos on my channel. I hope you guys would be interested in that. I think a lot of you would be. But for prize picks tonight, some picks I like. I mean, I was on those Indiana guys last night, and pretty much all of them hit outside of O'Shea Brissett. I think going back to Halliburton, Buddy Hield, I mean, we talked about it. Their roles are just so good right now. They're playing huge minutes. I think over 29.5 fantasy points for Buddy Hield looks really good. Over 39 fantasy points for Halliburton, I still like a lot. If you want to take their PRAs, I'm fine with that. 29.5 for Halliburton, 24.5 for Buddy Hield. I think both those guys hit their overs if this game stays close. So I like them a lot. They did add some Jalen Smith props. Let's see what other props they got. So they got Jalen Smith, 11.5 points. I mean, I really like Jalen Smith's overs. I mean, last night, the dude had, what did he have? So he had 21 PRA and he played like 17 minutes. So, man, if Jalen Smith stays out of foul trouble tonight, if he starts again, I think over 20.5 PRA for Jalen Smith. That's another one I like. So there's 3 Indiana guys you could take. If you want someone else, let me see. Like Seth Curry's PRA, I like that a lot too. So, his first game with Brooklyn, he played pretty good minutes. He took a lot of shots. He had 35 points, rebounds, and assists. His line's only at 24.5. Man, I think while KD, KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons are out, Seth Curry's going to take 15, 16, 17 shots a game. He can get assists as well. The Knicks really struggle to defend the three-point line, which is where Seth Curry, can really, really excel. So like Seth Curry's PRA with Halliburton, Hield, Jalen Smith, like those are 4 picks you could all take if you wanted to. Or you could take like 2 of the 4, however you want to break it up. But those are 4 that I like for prize picks. And I think maybe after the All-Star break ends, we might be getting into some prize picks videos. Might see some prize picks videos on the channel. Okay, Thunder starting Giddey, Mann, Wiggins, Baisley, and Roby. So Roby is starting at center again. D'Lo or Halliburton if Ant's out. I would still take Halliburton there if you have a salary. Even if Ant's out, I would still take Halliburton. No Robinson love. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, like, I think at his price point, like, he's just not someone I'm too excited about. He's almost 6K. I mean, if the game's close, he probably plays, like, big minutes. His role has been really good. We have seen a big ceiling from Mitchell Robinson. But I think at almost 6K, like, he's just priced where he should be. He's not, like, a standout play for me. That doesn't mean that Mitchell Robinson's going to do bad tonight, but I think, price point doesn't make him a standout play, at least in my opinion. Ten four. I see people in chat saying, that's a good idea. I mean, I would think a lot of people would enjoy it. I see there's a lot of guys on YouTube making prize picks videos, and they do really well. So I think I want to start dabbling into it, getting some short videos. They wouldn't be super, super long, probably like 8 to 10 minutes, talk about, 2, 3, 4 picks, and that'd be the video. Maybe I would like keep track of my record too, see what my record could be over, a span of time. Because I think I could give out some good advice, man, on prize picks. I've been able to have a winning year on prize picks so far, and I would think I could help the people out too with some content. Buddy Hield or Gary Trent? See, that's a really close one for me. Like, I want to say Buddy Hield, but man, like, if Van Vliet's out, I like Gary Trent a lot. So I think I'd still take Buddy Hield, but that's a damn coin flip, I'll be honest. How you feel about Steven Adams' assist? Oh, God. Steven Adams is normally a guy I wouldn't, like, bet assist on, but I know he had a lot of assists yesterday when Ja was out. Prize Picks doesn't have an assist for Steven Adams. I don't know what the other books have. You'd have to tell me what his line is, because Prize Picks doesn't have anything. 4,300 util have Smith already, so let's see. If you already have Jalen Smith, I'd probably say like Quentin Grimes, probably your next best option there. Kuzma or Triple J? Give me Kuzma. Poku or Şengün? If Christian Wood gets ruled out, I would definitely play Şengün over Poku. Giddey or Russell? That's a close one for me. Give me Giddey, but that's really close. Giddey or Derek White? I would definitely take Giddey. Adams or Nurkic? Straight up, I would take Nurkic. Scotty Barnes. I mean, I think Scotty Barnes, if Van Vliet gets ruled out, like Scotty Barnes, OG, Siakam, Trent, like all those guys get boost. We saw Scotty Barnes handle the ball a lot last time Van Vliet was out. I think he had like 6 or 7 assists. Like, I think his touch time would be up if Van Vliet's out. He would have the ball in his hands more. We haven't seen a massive ceiling from Scotty Barnes this year, but I think he would be in play as a low-owned option if Van Vliet sits. And I think, with Van Vliet not going through shoot-around, he's probably going to be out. Avia or Trey Mann? Give me Avia. You kill it with the info. Can't wait for Prize Picks to be available in Missouri. Dude, I'm hoping Prize Picks can get available everywhere pretty soon. I know they recently went live in Virginia. I think they recently went live in Maryland. So they're slowly starting to, become legal in more states. But yeah, I know there's still a lot of states that Prize Picks is not legal in. Hopefully they'll be on the ball about that. So I know there's a lot of you guys in the chat that would play on Prize Picks if they were available. Okay, I see Michael's posting in the chat that Van Vliet's out. So there we go. Yeah, with Van Vliet, with him not going through shoot around, I didn't think he was gonna play. I wonder if Prize Picks is gonna take off any of these Raptors props. I mean, I figured after it was reported that Van Vliet didn't go through shoot around that, they were projecting him out. So like the Raptors props on Prize Picks, I don't know if they're gonna take him off. I don't think they would. But like, man, I just think if this game's close, Siakam, Trent, OG, Scotty Barnes, these guys are playing 36, 40 minutes. Like, I could definitely see them all hitting their overs. I think think Trent's points is one I like a lot, because we saw last time Van Vliet was out, like Gary Trent went freaking nuts. So like over on Trent's points I like, over on Siakam's PRA, that's one I've been taking a lot, and he's been hitting that a lot. Looks even better now that Van Vliet's sitting. You know, OG and Scotty Barnes, if you want to take their fantasy points, I don't hate it. I think, you know, these Raptors guys look really appealing. And I'm guessing they're not going to take the props off. I didn't think they would. I thought with Van Vliet not going through shoot around, it was expected he wouldn't play. Okay, Kim Birch is likely to start in place of Van Vliet. That's kind of interesting. So last time Van Vliet was out, they actually started Precious Achiuwa. Now they're starting Kim Birch. I'm guessing Kim Birch is the minimum. He's 3,200. I mean, I'd have to think he probably projects for like at least low 20s minutes, if not like mid to high 20s. I definitely worry about like foul trouble going up against Cat. Like he could definitely get into some foul trouble here, but I think Kim Birch is now on the radar for value. I don't think he's like this slam dunk free square or anything, but I think Kim Birch is in play if he's expected to start. He's only 3,200 on DraftKings, and right now there's not like a ton of cheap value. That could change though, like if you know, Josh sits. That's going to give us a really good value play in Tyus Jones. All right, I'm going to answer these last few questions, and we'll hop out of here. What do you think of Kobe White? I mean, I think Kobe White is viable. If the game's close, like, same thing. It's kind of similar with Toronto. You know OG, Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent, Siakam playing huge minutes. On the Chicago side, you know if the game's close, Kobe White, Ayo, Levine, or DeRozan, Vooch, those guys are playing huge minutes. So, I mean, if the game's close, Kobe White probably plays high 30s minutes. He's for sure in play. Utility at 9,800, where would you go? I'd probably say Trey. Trey is 9,400. I'd probably take Trey. Either Trey or Julius Randle, or even Siakam now that, you know, Van Vliet's out. But probably Trey. Trent over Russell with the Raptors news. I think I would still take D'Angelo Russell straight up over Gary Trent, but I definitely do like Gary Trent now with Van Vliet officially out. Randall and Gary Trent or Siakam and Buddy Hield. Elvin, man, literally go grab a coin and flip it, because I mean that's a coin flip, man. Because I think Randall and Siakam project almost identical. I think Gary Trent and Buddy Hield project almost identical. If I had to pick a side, I think I'd go with the second, but that is just really close. OG's only 5,700 on FanDuel. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. How much Tyus Jones you playing? Tyus Jones, his value all depends on if Ja plays or not. If Ja is out, love Tyus Jones. He's for sure going to be in my lineup. If Ja plays, I'm not going to play Tyus Jones. I have zero interest in Tyus Jones. So that all depends on Ja's status. And right now, we're still waiting for news on Ja. He's still questionable. But I'm going to wrap up the stream here, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Best of luck on this big 11-game slate. We have one more slate to talk about tomorrow. I think it's like a 5-gamer. And then the All-Star break is here. There will be no games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you guys won't see me for a while after tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow, an hour before lock, to talk through Thursday's slate. And then the All-Star break is upon us. I'm going to take a break, enjoy myself, get outside, smell the roses, go do some fun stuff during the break. Hope you guys, enjoy the break as well. But we'll see you tomorrow for one more slate. Best of luck. Peace out, fellas.